"Isn't my pink thing adorable?" she said with complete confidence, but her clothes were tattered and torn, and I, a guy, didn't know where to look. That's because there were holes in places that should not be seen. But she doesn't care, and cheerfully laughs in her tattered clothes. Why were her clothes in such a condition, you ask? My name is Aiden. I work at a company that sets up and plans for events and such. I'm mostly on temporary assignments, but if my company is requested, we'll also assist in attracting customers at corporate event booths. We help with everything related to events. That's our parent company's specialty. I work at a subsidiary, so I'm often on site. I go to various venues on weekends. That's why I tend to be kind to those handing out flyers. It may seem like an easy part-time job, but it can be surprisingly disheartening when refused. So even if I have to decline, I always try to do it with a gentle smile. But I just witnessed an unbelievable scene. Excuse me. There was a girl trying really hard to call people over. A college student, perhaps. I can tell she's working really hard, but she's being completely avoided by the crowd. Why? Her approach is not bad at all. A bright voice and smile can disarm people. But her clothes are just awful. I mean, they do catch the eye, but they're incredibly tattered. Her jeans are torn to shreds, and her t-shirt is ripped so much that you can see her skin everywhere. Or rather, it's more like it's full of holes. Why is this young girl dressed in such ragged clothes and trying to attract people? Didn't she have other clothes, or was she so hard up for money that she couldn't buy any? There's so much to question. Her jeans aren't showing her skin, but there's pink fabric visible from the rips. What is that outfit? With that appearance, her hard work in trying to attract people is wasted, and she looks nothing but suspicious. She's trying so hard, but she's being avoided so much that she's teary-eyed. And then, our eyes suddenly meet. I had a bad feeling, but... excuse me, you there, just a moment, please help me, just a little bit. Apparently, having been rejected too many times, she seemed to have lost herself or become desperate, and she was crying out to me. As for me, I really wanted to run away, because I was being looked at strangely by those around me. But she was being avoided so much, and the way she looked at me with those puppy dog eyes, I felt a little sorry for her. So I thought I'd at least listen to what she had to say. A survey. Yes. I want to know what you think about the clothes I'm wearing. She was looking very dejected, a girl named Sarah Garcia, hanging her head. Apparently, she's attending a fashion school and was conducting a survey for a thesis on how much damage is acceptable on damaged jeans. But it seems she was about to lose heart, being avoided like that. I couldn't help but blurt out, "How are you going to handle it if your sample isn't staying still?" Huh? No, I mean, it's a survey about what people think of the person wearing the clothes, right? If you move, the survey results will change. Yes, the subject of a survey should not move. Suppose you are thought to look like you have holes in your clothes just by wearing them. But if you move in those clothes, the impression of the outfit might change. The image is entirely different when seen in motion compared to when stationary. Also, that outfit is too eccentric. You are ruining your chance to attract people. I've got experience in attracting people. Do you want me to show you a little? Really? Sarah's face brightened, and I felt a little motivated. I may not need to go that far, but it's just a kindness. I instructed her to stand with a smile. Then, I turned to the people who looked at her and said, "Hello, excuse me for speaking to you out of the blue. Actually, she's researching the impression that clothes give. Could you spare a moment to help us out?" That's how I got them to answer the survey. I tried to be as friendly as possible, and when I asked for help for a college student, most people answered a simple survey. If they refused, I'd just say sorry and leave. If 70% of people stopped and 50% answered the survey, that's good enough. Attracting attention is surprisingly hard. You're amazing. I struggled for an hour and only managed to stop one person, but you're like a pro. Well, I am a pro, after all. We were approaching the time for which she had permission, so we had to break up for the day. Near the end, Sarah bowed her head in thanks to me. Thank you so much. All my college friends are busy with their thesis, so I have to do this alone. The data won't be enough with just today's survey results, so we'll do it again. I'll keep in mind what you taught me today. She said that cheerfully, but I could sense her anxiety about having to do it alone again. From now on, she'll look like a dejected puppy to me, and I feel somewhat heavy-hearted. Don't show me that look. I know all too well the difficulties of attracting attention. Would you like some help? Huh? Oh, I mean, if I'm not intruding. No way, thank you so much. She repeatedly bowed, her eyes sparkling. I exchanged numbers with her and parted ways. I had no ulterior motives, I just couldn't leave her alone. I did think I might be butting in too much, though. I didn't think at the time that this would later significantly change my life. Next weekday, she was conducting a survey activity between lectures. Even though the internet is widespread now and most of this type of thing is done online, she said, photos may not convey the color accurately. Apparently, she designed torn jeans, or rather, damaged jeans with patches of pink cloth over the rips. Isn't this pink cute? Jeans always look so casual, so I wanted to add something cute or something like that. Cute. Why not add some frills or something? Frills make it look too feminine, losing the casual feel, and adding too much frill will change the silhouette. So no, she said, but honestly, I don't understand what would change. I don't care about fashion, and frankly, her story is hard to understand because of many technical terms. But her passion for clothing is impressive. She's wearing what looks to an old guy like me like worn-out fashion, but young people call it cute and take pictures of her. I don't understand it at all. Is this the trend? But even if it's trendy, I couldn't help but, actually, I was quite concerned that the undergarments were so visible. I mean, the top was so see-through. Wouldn't anyone be concerned, I thought. But it turns out that this skin-showing fashion was also her idea. Haha, no, it's not like that. This is a variation of fake tights. Fake tights. What is that? I don't know the details, but apparently there are tights that women wear that look like thin stockings but are thicker. Especially when dressed in cute fashion. Wearing things like frilly skirts, wearing thick tights can make the balance look bad, it seems. This fabric you see through the tears is skin-colored, and it's quite warm. Oh, I see. So it wasn't actually your skin. I wondered why you weren't cold. Fashion is deep, I feel, but it's a world I don't understand. But it was fun to hear about fashion from Sarah. And she always talked happily, sparkling, and it was blinding. I received energy every time I saw her face and realized that I was filled with a feeling of happiness. A month later, she successfully collected the necessary data. Thank you so much. I want to do something to thank you, but no need for that. I just helped out of concern. No way. Well, could you at least tell me where you work? You're with an event company, right? Can we consult with you about university events? Of course. I said that and handed her my business card. It would be great if she talked about me to someone and they contacted me for assistance. Well, things don't always go smoothly, and I didn't do it because I wanted something in return. Rather, I did it because I wanted to see Sarah. So, well, to say that this is the end is honestly a bit lonely. But a working guy like me doesn't match a college student like Sarah, and surely someone younger with a better fashion sense and cooler will sweep her off her feet. Thinking that, we parted with smiles in the end. But then, a week later, I was utterly confused. Because when I arrived at work in the morning, Suddenly, someone tapped me on the shoulder. Whoa, I was so startled that I jumped. Even more so when I turned around and saw that it was the boss. My heart almost leapt out of my mouth. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. No, it's my fault. Sorry. A low-level employee like me never talks to the CEO. As I stood there looking tense, he called me into his office, saying, "Can I talk to you for a second? Did I do something wrong?" Entering the CEO's office with cold sweat all over my body, there was a man in a sharp suit. According to him, he's a human resources person from the headquarters. Why is someone from the headquarters? Cold sweat dripped down my back. Actually, he personally wants you to be assigned to the staff development division at headquarters. What? I was so surprised that I forgot I was in the CEO's office. CEO at the headquarters is like a god. He assigned me directly, and it must be some mistake. That's what I thought, but seeing that the headquarters guy had come all the way here, it doesn't seem to be a misunderstanding. In fact, we are currently developing someone at our headquarters who can take charge of event summarization. Dan has abundant experience in events and is skilled at teaching, or so I've heard from Miss Garcia. Garcia, miss. I go into a major panic. Certainly, the surname of the CEO is Garcia. But Garcia isn't rare surname. However, I've only met one woman named Garcia recently, and the fact that she said I'm good at teaching, could it be? By miss, do you mean Sarah Garcia? Yes, that's right. The HR person said that, smiling and explaining the situation. Apparently, she boasted to her father, who is the president of the headquarters, saying, "I met this amazing person who helped me with promoting." As I mentioned earlier, at the headquarters we're currently working on developing talent in event-related fields, so it seems they were thinking of headhunting that person. Sari ended up receiving the business card I handed over, and it turned out that the person was from one of our subsidiaries. Can I really handle something like this? It's not about whether you can handle it, but whether you want to. The HR person said that to me kindly, and I gratefully accepted the offer to work at the headquarters. That's because I was freshly reminded of the difficulty of teaching others from my interactions with Sarah, and I wanted to try something new, like educating someone. So, I was transferred to the headquarters. The headquarters has a large office building, and I was very nervous as I had rarely been there. Moreover, since I was introduced by the CEO's daughter, I had to go and greet him. As I headed to greet the CEO, with great trepidation, I heard, "Dan, there is Sarah here as well." Why is Sarah here? I was surprised in various ways, but it seems she helps out at the company during her college breaks. I want to hold a fashion event in the future, and I'm studying for that. I also have a part-time job in fashion, so it's quite tough, Sarah said, laughing. I haven't seen her in a while, but today she was wearing office clothes, with pink tights, and was quite flashy. Well, this company handles events, so hairstyles and nails are relatively free. Listening to our conversation, the CEO said, "It seems my daughter has been taken care of, and as a father, I must thank you, but I won't be easy on you, so be prepared for that," putting me on notice. I hurriedly declared, "I will do my best." From there on, it was really tough. I struggled with unfamiliar tasks and made many mistakes. But the sense of accomplishment from completing the work was immense, and I became more and more absorbed in my work. However, it boosted my confidence, and I was able to act more boldly than before. Perhaps that's why I could muster the courage to take a step forward. The content was to invite Sarah to tea, an incredibly trivial matter. Is it okay? Yay. Sarah and I started having tea together frequently. Every time, I couldn't quite understand the mysterious fashion terms she told me, but being with her was fun. I think I like Sarah. I unconsciously muttered such a thing. I wondered what I was doing myself, and honestly, I didn't realize what I had said for several seconds. But Sarah shyly smiled and said, I like you too. I mean, I wouldn't go for it every time if I didn't. We started dating. Although she's still a college student. So I intend to wait for her until she graduates. A few years later. Isn't the lighting here a bit too bright? Oh, come on. It's just your professional bias. I was checking the wedding venue with Sarah. We're going to have a wedding next year. The fully matured Sarah was tired of me looking at the venue's lighting. We're the stars this time, so let's not talk about behind-the-scenes stuff. But Sarah, you're designing your own wedding dress, aren't you? You kept insisting. It's fine because it's something I'm going to wear. We laughed together, having this kind of back and forth. Sarah, who used to struggle with attracting customers in ragged clothes, has now become so beautiful that everyone turns to look at her. But still, her taste in clothing is as quirky as ever, and I still don't quite get it. Because I don't understand, I want to know more about Sarah, and I want Sarah to know more about me. That's what I've been thinking. Let's make our wedding the best it can be. What are you talking about? It's bound to be the greatest wedding of our lives. When I say that, Sarah responds with, You're certainly right about that, and together we dream of a happy wedding that's not far in the future.